Okay, so I'm supposed to write a monologue for this play I'm doing with a bunch of old friends. We're meeting over Zoom to write a play together or a series of monologues, I don't know, we'll figure it out. About being stuck in quarantine during this pandemic. And anyway, I have to write this thing, and I don't know what to write. What do I write about?
I live my life on plans. My whole existence is a plan. And in the last 3 weeks, I have made plan after plan after plan. Do you know what happens every single time? The governor gets on, and the plan I've spent hours devising changes. The governor's supposed to get on today and make an announcement about the school year. At this point, I'm expecting that we won't be going back. It is so strange to navigate this new world as a teacher. I mean, we've been home for 3 weeks and still don't have a definitive plan. So it's back to the drawing board to work up a new plan that'll keep my students engaged while respecting the fact that their daily lives probably look a lot different than mine.
President Bolsonaro stated today that quarantine is an unnecessary measure against a non existing threat. According to him, COVID-19 is nothing more than just a small flu. I hear the anchor saying in the background. As the scene on the TV changes to the pronouncement from the man we call our president, people are screaming from their windows, fighting.
My life has really been fine, actually. I'm not sick. I'm at home with my family. We're not worried about food or rent or toilet paper. I've mostly been watching movies the past few weeks. I'm fine. I mean, sure, maybe my mental health has been suffering some, but that's not new. I was actually way worse a month ago when I deliberately isolated myself, hurt myself, and then made an ominous phone call to my parents, which prompted the arrival of 2 officers tasked with ensuring my survival post hanging up.
I was at Winco recently, practically beaming with pride that I had actually lasted 10 whole days from my previous trip. I perused the aisles at a quick pace, speedily scanning for the items on my carefully curated list, very aware of my 6 feet social distancing bubble and everything that I touched. As I loaded groceries into my car, a family in a blue minivan pulled up next to mine. I kept loading while they opened up their door, focused on the puzzle of groceries versus the Goodwill donations I had recently cleared out of my house, thinking through my route to see what donation drop-offs, if any, were open. I mean, who isn't Marie Kondoing their lives right now?
Out, Bolsonaro, murderer, yells the young guy from the 10th floor. His grandmother died last week. Pneumonia. Or so they said. Go to work, butthead. The rich lady from the building next to ours screams back. She thinks quarantine is unnecessary, but she hasn't left her house in weeks. The woman from Block D, 7th floor, the one who just had a baby and is very concerned for his well-being, tells the lady to go to sleep. It's time for ignorant people to be in bed, I think. But I don't say anything.
I'm so stupid. Now we're at war and people are dying. Thousands of people are dying. So what if I can't sleep at night? I don't need to worry about where I would sleep or if I'd wake up tomorrow if I did sleep. I am supported. All this monologue would be, it'd be a rant about an insured white American intended for drawing pity. I am the last person anyone should be focusing on right now.
I was promptly brought out of my thoughts for a moment when I heard someone on a speakerphone inform the minivan family, you have $22.43 available. My heart sunk. Okay, cool, one of the teens said as she closed the sliding van door shut. I tried not to look too hard at my groceries and my donations piled in the back, shut the automated door, climbed into the driver's seat, and sanitized my hands. I mean, I don't even know.
The people who can't support themselves are important right now. The people fighting in this war are important right now. The people fighting not to die and the people dying are important right now. All those people's families are important right now, not me. I am the person of no consequence.
Of course, the lady wouldn't leave it at that, as she continues to scream, one stupid opinion after the other, one offense after the other. The guy from the 6th floor, Block A, plays a song by Chico Buarque from the time of the military dictatorship, which fits perfectly to what we're living through now. Despite you, tomorrow there will be another day, he sings. And with that in the background, I wonder why I don't join in.
Isn't this wind crazy? I mean, I have been trying to get outside with my dogs every day, but if it's windy, I don't even want to go there, which means I have been spending a lot of quality time with Lance. Oh. Did you fart, or is that just your breath? It was funnier in the moment. Well, I guess that's it. The governor just called it.
Why don't I tell the lady from the building next to mine that she's wrong? Why don't I tell her that we're not the ignorant ones? She is. Why do I sit there and listen to her disseminate preposterous thoughts that offend me and everything I stand for, without doing anything, without fighting back? Did I give up? Do I think, inside me, that it's not worth it? And if that's the case, if I'm willing to give up on people like that, am I really that much better than any of them?
(2,708.7 miles). 2,708.7 miles is how far I was from home before this pandemic started. Crying almost every night because I wasn't surrounded by the ones I love most. Longing for the space I called home. The hundreds of phone calls I had with my mom and her reminding me, "Only a few more months, mija. You can do this." She was right. Only a few more months and I'd be home. And here I am, home. I should be happy that I'm home, and trust me, I am. But it's weird.
So I once read this quote that said, you can't heal in the same environment that you were hurt in. At the time of reading it, I was in a brand new environment, my first apartment in New York City. It's not Manhattan, but a sublet in Brooklyn sounds better than trekking it back across the country to do what? But I can't exactly stay put. I've never met any of my roommates. The trains were meant to be shut down, and both my jobs were in Manhattan. So here I am, sitting in my mother's house, endlessly refreshing Actors Access, playing solitaire for hours on end, and staring at blank pages.
I hate being left in the dark, not knowing my next move. My senior year, my last year in high school, before I move into the so-called real world. This year was supposed to be my easy one. My classes were easy. I had woodshop, psychology, and drama. I had 2 plays I was in at the same time. I honestly thought I was crazy for doing both, but I couldn't help it. I just love the art so much. I thought this whole thing was gonna be blown over. I thought I'd be in school in at least a month. I thought I could just write the rest of the year off and just have a fun one, make it memorable, something I wouldn't regret. But you know what? Sometimes life has other plans.
Having this time to think makes me want to imagine situations that can happen in the future. Like, imagine if I can become a vampire. Cool, right? But when that thinking stops, I come back to reality, and my reality is a mix of what I need to deal with versus what I choose to deal with.
I am stuck in quarantine. I'm self-distancing. What are we supposed to be calling it? We're all stuck, and I'm supposed to come out of this improved, right? Aren't we all supposed to come out of this better versions of ourselves? There are plenty of things to do besides clean and bake, right? Why aren't I warming up every day? Why haven't I worked on my play? I don't know.
I was so confident in myself, so determined that when I leave high school, that I was gonna make something of myself. That I was gonna go into college full blazing, not wasting a second, not regretting a second. Now I don't know. I guess just getting the fact that school was going to be canceled for the rest of the year just broke me. I've been delaying applying for college. I'm not even making any efforts to look for a job. I'm just sitting here, waiting every day for something to happen. I don't know.
I like to consider myself a positive person, but it's hard to put up that wall when something you dreamed of got taken away. This year, I'm a senior in high school, and the year started pretty great. I made new friends, got closer to the friends I already had, but most importantly, I tried my hardest to make my dad proud. I've always dreamed of being in my graduation ceremony, waiting anxiously to hear my name said, and my family screaming how proud they are of me, and looking at my dad knowing he is proud of all I've overcome.
How are performing arts students supposed to do online classes when our craft embodies the essence of having face-to-face interaction and relying on our scene partners? We have to film hundreds of self-tapes and send them in for a grade of participation rather than seek refined ability or growth. The thousands and thousands of dollars we're paying to get the best education has now been stripped of their worth. And I understand there's nothing the school or us can do. But look where we are. Confined within the walls of our home, and these walls, it's like this place isn't the right place for me anymore.
I know during this time, there's things more important to consider for people such as expenses, family, and more. I understand the importance of why our school year got canceled, but I can't help but feel selfish when I wish to sit next to my best friend in line, waiting for our names to be called and said, "We made it." But that's something I choose not to think about too much, because the more I think about it, the more it becomes real, and I don't want to accept it. But it's okay. I won't show any of that. I'll put on my happy face and pretend that it's fine, because there's more to life than hearing your name called, right?
I've outgrown this town. I'm on to bigger and better things for myself, and I can't find what I'm looking for in this town. I wish I was working on my craft with other artists and preparing for the highlights that come with our last semester. Panel night, workshop, showcase. I just feel trapped. Not physically because I'm safe at home, but mentally and creatively. There are so many distractions, it's crazy. You know, it's kind of funny that I'm saying this, but after all those nights of crying and wishing I was back home, I'm here at home crying, wishing I was back in New York.
People have asked me why I decided to leave at all and why I went so far. And there are a lot of reasons. I think, though, it's mostly that my hurt always happens here, on these roads, in the air, trapped in these walls, enthralled in this city. So, I find myself sitting here, waiting to leave again.
When I'm saying all this, I have tears running down my cheek. I'm crying. Just suck it up, Jasmine. Quit being a crybaby. Not everything revolves around you. Not everything revolves about your little problems. At least you have it good most than others. I spent so much time, so much hard work, trying to work toward that goal of graduation. My dad hasn't been there. He dropped out before he could. I was determined I was going to be first one. Determined that I would break that and make my dad proud. Now that doesn't seem like anything, there I go again, crying. I'm not gonna stop. I will prevail.
Hey, it's me. I don't think I need to reintroduce myself because I have faith that you didn't delete my number. And you probably aren't picking up because you're either studying or cooking or watching the news. I'm sorry about your job.
On March 12th, I went to bed with my thoughts on memorizing my lines for my spring show. I prayed that night, and in my prayer, I jokingly said, I wish I had more time to do everything I needed to do. Rebecca Woods, the president of Columbia Basin College, would send out an email the next day that would be the answer to my prayers.
I was told that 2020 was going to be the start of something new, a brand new chapter in my life that I get to explore about myself. But no. I guess the world was like, I can either make this a really, really good year, or I can just let it all crash down and burn in a fire. I think we all know which one happened.
Hi, sorry I didn't pick up earlier. Well, there was once a time I wasn't coughing my lungs out, my stomach wasn't constantly upset, and going to the bathroom wouldn't wind me. But you already know all that. Yeah, I see the nice weather. Sometimes I miss going outside and feeling that warm sun, and I'm a night owl. Something is different about being told you have to stay home because you're going to infect everyone instead of staying home because nothing's open past 10.
Buddha once said the trouble is you think you have time, and maybe that's why I hold on to time with white knuckles. Unlike people who believe in the saying, trust in the timing of your life, I've always grabbed life and bent it to do what I needed in the fastest way possible. Standing still and trusting in time isn't something I'm good at. Now that time is all I have, it's illuminated that I've set these goals for myself, Goals that I've been so set on reaching that I haven't stopped to celebrate the achievements I have reached, the lessons I've learned, and the friendships I've made.
I miss you? No, I miss you. Since being home, I've gotten a lot better at saying things with my chest. It just feels weird not saying that to your face. Then you would laugh and get kind of red and fix the collar of your shirt, and then we'd go back to watching the movie you suggested because I never have time for movies anymore. And then you would put your arm back around me and pull me really close, and I'd feel, I don't know, comfortable? I don't know exactly how to describe how I feel, but I would feel okay. At peace, even.
Well, I can tell you it's not easy to not breathe, especially when your service animal can tell that your chest is an issue and wants to lay on it to fix it. I've been distracting him with boxes. Everyone else in this quarantine is working out or working on something or having fun, yet for me, sitting at this computer is one of the hardest things ever thanks to the body aches. Playing any video games is hard with all the brain fog, let alone doing anything productive. It's boring to do nothing but feel bad, and it probably doesn't help either. I just want to scream. Let me leave this bed. Let me leave this chair. Let me leave this room. But I cough. Therefore, I'm a hazard to those around me.
My life hasn't been too bad from this whole pandemic. In fact, it's given me more time to focus on my hobbies and binge watch all the shows and movies I've been putting off for so long. And yeah, sure, almost all the stores or restaurants are closed. But you know what's not closed? McDonald's! My job. I still don't understand why people are still buying food from there. Like, why the hell are you buying food from here when you can use that money to buy all the toilet paper you keep wasting on us? At least I'm still getting paid, so I guess that's one good thing.
Oh, I don't have to pay for groceries. Some of my family is leaving essentials at my door and knocking so they don't get sick. They even took the time to find me 80 rolls of toilet paper, and I surprisingly needed it. Sandra and I are taking turns cooking, actually. She's been taking care of me, but she's developed a cough too. The apartment is getting messy because neither of us have the energy to clean right now. Well, I've just been going on and on. How's your day?
While sitting in this time like everyone else, I've begun to fidget and tinker with the idea of who I am and what I want, and if I'm enough to face the new challenges I've set for myself. My mother says that bravery has been bred into our family line for generations. I believe her. So, as we all collectively hold our breaths, sitting with this excess amount of time, I've made a pact with myself that when this is all over, I will let go of my tight hold of time and focus on the quality of my time, not the scarcity of it. I will learn to be more accepting of my achievements. I will be grateful for all the hardships I've overcome. And I'll be more careful with my prayers.
Anyways, this whole quarantine thing has been getting a little bit boring. Yeah, a little bit of distraction helps for a while, but it's not long until pure boredom hits me all over again. But then again, boredom never fails to do one thing that I love in this world, and that is sleep. Speaking of sleep, I think I'm gonna turn myself in for today. Night.
The thing is, being back home and having nothing to do gives a person a lot of time to think because that's all there really is to do here. I can't go get dinner with you or listen to musicals with you in your car. all I can do is miss it. And all I can do is miss you. Anyways, I hope you're doing well amongst all this chaos. You'll probably have plenty of time now to study for the LSATs. I miss you. Let's talk soon. Stay healthy.
But then again, boredom never failed to do one thing that I love the most in this world, and that is sleep. Speaking of sleep, I think I'm gonna turn myself in for today. Night.
Vanessa, oh my gosh! No, it's amazing. Like, honestly, wow. It's
Trying to go for it. I was like, y'all got so serious. I'm like, what if I like don't go for it serious at all?
But you know what's not closed? McDonald's.
Think about it. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, I finally did it!